as I see it, it is very much a gut, intuitive perspective. And I really feel like you have a very special intuition.
Rumors have been going around that Swizz Beatz has been having an affair with LaLa Anthony, you guys. And not only that, they are supposedly so in love with each other.
The internet is spinning after a leaked tape just exploded on the scene, allegedly exposing Swizz Beatz getting much too close with LaLa Anthony, while Alicia Keys, his wife, was left completely blindsided. Word travels fast in the industry, but nothing hits harder than betrayal from someone you trust, both at home and within your own circle. Insiders claim Alicia's reaction was nothing short of a total meltdown. Years of keeping it together in public, managing their complicated blended family, protecting her image as the soulful queen of cool. Suddenly, she's forced to confront everything she's tried to ignore. Word is that as soon as she heard about the leak, Alicia confronted Swizz Beatz in a heated showdown and demanded answers. Confrontations with LaLa reportedly followed, and the fallout was immediate. It's not just the surface-level messiness of an affair. The sharpest cut is knowing the person involved is someone you once considered a friend. But the real shock is how few people are actually surprised. This isn't some out-of-the-blue scandal for Swizz. His history is full of complications, infidelity, tangled romances, and accusations that how you get them is how you lose them. The whispers have been getting louder. Was Alicia just the latest in a pattern? Did she ignore red flags because she believed their love could overcome his past? The streets, gossip blogs, and social feeds are all asking the same thing. Who actually leaked the tape? And why now? Some say a fed-up insider wanted to blow up Alicia's picture-perfect marriage once and for all. Others wonder if this is just karma finally catching up. A repeat of the pain Mashonda, Swizz's previous wife, lived through a decade ago. Only now it's Alicia's own heartbreak in the headlines. The timing couldn't be messier. Publicly, Alicia and Swizz have been promoting the ultimate blended family narrative, showing off music collaborations and smiling for family photos. Privately, cracks have been there for a while, but nothing prepared Alicia for the humiliation of having her trust broken, not only by her husband, but by a woman who sat at her own table. As the tape circulates and speculation goes wild, one thing is clear: the so-called fairy tale is shattering in real time. Celebrities and fans alike are watching every move, and for Alicia, this may be the moment everything changes forever.
Cute guys come with ugly problems.
What makes this whole situation particularly devastating for Alicia is that LaLa wasn't just some random industry connection. This was someone who had been in her inner circle for years, attending the same exclusive events, supporting each other's careers, and building what appeared to be a genuine friendship rooted in mutual respect. The timeline reveals just how calculated this alleged betrayal really was. According to multiple sources, LaLa and Swizz's connection allegedly began around 2019, right when her marriage to Carmelo Anthony was publicly falling apart. While the world watched Carmelo's cheating scandals play out in the tabloids, LaLa was reportedly dealing with her own secret situation behind closed doors. Now, nobody's claiming Carmelo was innocent in their marriage breakdown. His infidelity had been an open secret for years, complete with allegations of multiple affairs and outside children. LaLa had been publicly defending him for so long that when she finally filed for divorce, many people assumed it was simply the final straw after years of humiliation. But insiders are now suggesting there was more to the story. Word is that LaLa had allegedly been getting comfort from Alicia's own husband during some of her most vulnerable moments. The level of deception involved is staggering when you really think about it. LaLa would allegedly be confiding in Alicia about Carmelo's latest cheating scandal while simultaneously carrying on her own secret relationship with Swizz.
I'm never getting married again.
Wow.
I'm not, it's one of those things in life that I feel like I could check it off. Like, okay, I did that. Maybe people want to say they've experienced that. I've experienced it. And I know the good and the bad that happened to me, so it's not something I want to experience again.
Picture this scenario: LaLa showing up to industry events with Alicia, smiling for photos, playing the supportive friend role, all while allegedly betraying her behind the scenes. She'd be liking Alicia's Instagram posts about marriage and family while potentially undermining that very same family structure in private. The alleged affair wasn't some spontaneous mistake either. If these claims are accurate, this was a multi-year deception that required constant lying, careful scheduling, and maintaining a completely false persona around Alicia. The sophistication needed to pull off something like this, while maintaining close friendships and public appearances, shows a level of manipulation that goes far beyond a simple affair. What makes it even more painful is that Alicia was reportedly being genuinely supportive during LaLa's divorce proceedings, offering friendship and understanding during what appeared to be one of the most difficult periods of her life. The idea that this support was being accepted while the person receiving it was allegedly involved with her husband adds another layer of betrayal to an already complicated situation.
There's nothing I can't do. Staying is easier. Staying is easier.
Really?
Walking away is harder.
This alleged affair didn't just suddenly appear out of nowhere in 2025. The first real public hint came way back in 2021 when radio personality Miss Jones dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. During her show, she revealed that someone claiming to work in Swizz's camp had reached out to her with explosive allegations. According to Miss Jones, this insider told her that Swizz and LaLa had been having an ongoing affair and were madly in love with each other. The source allegedly provided specific details about their interactions, claiming that Swizz would leave comments on LaLa's Instagram posts early in the morning, and she would be the first one to respond every single time. But the most damaging detail was the alleged pattern of behavior. The source claimed that LaLa would keep responding to Swizz's social media interactions obsessively, to the point where he would allegedly have to tell her to chill because it was starting to look obvious to his wife. That kind of specific detail suggested someone with real inside knowledge of their dynamic. When Miss Jones went public with these allegations, the response was swift and defensive. Swizz immediately jumped into damage control mode, posting on social media with a clear message, "Knock it TF off." He wasn't subtle about his anger over the rumors being spread publicly. To further deflect attention, Swizz posted a screenshot of Alicia's song, LaLa, and wrote, "This is the only LaLa I'm rockin' with." It was a clever redirect, trying to associate the name LaLa with his wife's music rather than with LaLa Anthony.
When I was no longer feeling great about it, sad every day, crying, like just feeling somewhat lost, not feeling loved the right way, I'm like, I don't want this to be for the rest of my life. And I don't want my son, I have to be an example to my son, seeing me, sad or whatever. Like, I didn't want that. And I was like, this is just not feeling good anymore. And there was a lot of things that had been done. And I was just like, I got to move on from this.
Do you think that if you weren't in the public eye, would you have handled the situation at all differently?
I would have still made the same decision, but it would have been less maybe pressure or less eyes on me, like, what's she gonna do? People are saying this, and is this true, or whatever it is. I think it would have been less pressure maybe, but I do think I still would have came to the same conclusion because some boundaries were crossed that I just couldn't.
The post was clearly designed to shut down speculation while showing public support for his marriage. But the damage control efforts revealed something interesting. For someone who was completely innocent of any wrongdoing, Swizz seemed unusually rattled by the allegations. His responses were emotional and defensive, rather than the casual dismissal you might expect from someone facing completely baseless rumors. Multiple blind items from gossip blogs had been hinting at similar situations for years. One particularly detailed blind item from 2021 described a situation involving an A-list producer who was allegedly cheating with a protege while keeping it extremely quiet. Another blind item mentioned a former A-plus list singer turned A-minus lister whose husband was allegedly involved with someone connected to a new television gig. The specifics of these blind items combined with Miss Jones' direct allegations created a pattern that was hard to ignore. What makes the 2021 revelations significant is that they establish a timeline. If these allegations were accurate, it meant the affair had already been going on for years by the time it first became public knowledge. The fact that Alicia apparently believed Swizz's denials at the time makes the current situation even more devastating. She trusted her husband's word, dismissed the rumors as industry gossip, and continued building their public image as a strong blended family. Now, with new alleged evidence surfacing, she's forced to confront the possibility that those 2021 rumors were actually the truth all along.
Choosing and wanting to uplift each other. It's really about especially showing our kids, how important it is to love each other.
What makes the 2025 allegations so damaging compared to the 2021 rumors is the shift in how the entertainment industry handles scandal. Back then, a radio host making accusations could be dismissed as gossip. Now, with alleged physical evidence surfacing, the corporate world is taking notice in ways that could devastate careers beyond just personal relationship. Swizz Beatz isn't just a husband and father dealing with marital drama. He's a brand with business partnerships, production deals, and corporate endorsements that depend on maintaining a certain public image. Major labels, streaming platforms, and corporate sponsors have increasingly strict morality clauses in their contracts. When personal scandals threaten brand reputation, business relationships get terminated quickly and quietly. Sources within the industry are reporting that several of Swizz's business associates have already begun separating themselves. Meetings are being postponed indefinitely, collaborative projects are being put on hold, and new deals are stalling in negotiations. The difference between weathering rumors and surviving actual evidence is massive in corporate boardrooms. For LaLa Anthony, the stakes are equally high. Her career has been built on relatability and authenticity, particularly around relationships and female empowerment. She's carved out a niche as someone women can trust, someone who's been through relationship struggles and come out stronger. If these allegations prove accurate, that entire brand identity crumbles overnight. Television networks and streaming services are notoriously risk-averse when it comes to talent involved in major scandals. LaLa's hosting gigs, acting roles, and production deals all become liabilities if her personal life overshadows her professional contributions. The entertainment industry has a short memory for talent, but a long memory for controversy. What's brutal about the timing is that both Swizz and LaLa have been actively building their post-divorce brands. Swizz has been positioning himself as a family man who successfully navigated blending families and co-parenting. LaLa has been promoting herself as an independent woman who prioritizes her son and her career over romantic drama. If these allegations are proven true, years of careful image rehabilitation gets destroyed instantly. The business consequences extend beyond just lost deals. Future opportunities become limited. Existing partnerships get renegotiated under less favorable terms, and the recovery timeline stretches into years rather than months. Industry insiders suggest that the alleged evidence from 2025 includes timestamps and metadata that make denial much more difficult than the 2021 accusations. When rumors can be dismissed as gossip, businesses might weather the storm. When evidence becomes undeniable, corporate partnerships end abruptly and permanently. To understand why this current scandal feels so inevitable to people who've been watching Swizz Beatz' career, you need to look at his relationship history. This isn't the first time allegations of infidelity have surrounded him, and the pattern suggests this might not be an isolated incident, but rather the continuation of established behavior.
Throw a party when they thinking that they want to kill each other and we want to be all negative and violent. We got kids involved in this, and we had to take the time out and go back to that word communicate and understand that, okay.
Back in 2000, while Mashonda was pregnant with what was supposed to be their first child together, Swizz was already stepping out on their relationship. He was involved with a woman named Nicole Levy, and the situation became even more complicated when Nicole became pregnant at the exact same time as Mashonda. The emotional devastation of discovering your partner's infidelity while you're carrying their child is unimaginable. But for Mashonda, the stress and heartbreak from the situation allegedly contributed to serious complications with her pregnancy. Tragically, their baby was stillborn, a loss that she had to endure while knowing her partner had been cheating and gotten another woman pregnant during what should have been one of the happiest periods of their relationship. Despite this betrayal and the devastating loss, Mashonda eventually forgave Swizz and married him in 2004. She was hoping they could start fresh and build a stable family together. They welcomed their son, Kasim Jr., later that year, and for a while it seemed like Swizz had settled down. But history has a way of repeating itself, especially when the underlying issues haven't been addressed. While Swizz was allegedly getting involved with Alicia Keys around 2007 or 2008, he was reportedly seeing another woman named Jana Sebastian on the side. Jana ended up pregnant and gave birth to his daughter Nicole, creating another complex situation involving multiple women and children. What's striking about this pattern is that Alicia was apparently unfazed by the chaos surrounding Swizz's personal life. She knew about the other women, the multiple pregnancies, the emotional destruction he'd left in his wake with Mashonda, and she still chose to pursue the relationship.
Have been asked this question, but okay, the whole situation with you, your husband, and Alicia Keys, is it true?
Yeah, pretty much it's true.
Okay, and that's all we're gonna go, because to be honest with you, we don't need to get completely in your business.
The timeline reveals just how messy the situation really was. Swizz was juggling relationships with Mashonda, Alicia, and Jana simultaneously. He was making promises to multiple women while being fully committed to none of them.
A lot of guys are not prepared for strong women.
Talk about that
I understand
part.
a lot of guys are not prepared for a strong woman. And what we have is she's her boss, I'm my boss.
The fact that children were being born into this unstable situation makes it even more troubling. When you look at this history, the current allegations about LaLa Anthony don't seem surprising. They seem like the natural continuation of a pattern that's been established for over 2 decades. Swizz appears to be someone who struggles with commitment and honesty in relationships, regardless of who he's with or what he claims to have learned from past mistakes. For Alicia, this history should have been a warning sign. She witnessed firsthand how Swizz treated Mashonda, saw the pain and devastation his choices caused, and somehow convinced herself that their situation would be different. Now she's potentially experiencing the same betrayal and humiliation that she once watched from the sidelines. What makes this current situation so poetic to many observers is that Alicia might finally be experiencing the exact same pain she allegedly caused Mashonda over a decade ago. The parallels between then and now are impossible to ignore, and for people who witnessed Mashonda's public heartbreak, there's a sense that karma has finally come full circle. Let's revisit exactly how Alicia and Swizz's relationship began, because the details matter when you're looking at patterns of behavior. Swizz and Mashonda were still legally married when Alicia entered the picture. They weren't just going through a rough patch or living separately. They were a family unit with a newborn child, living in the same house, trying to work through their issues.
You get a lot of soulless feedback. You get a lot of criticism, you get jealousy, you get all these negative things. And I was feeding into that because I wanted those people to hear me out. I wanted them to feel my pain.
According to Mashonda's own account, she actually reached out to Alicia directly, woman to woman, to explain the situation. She made it crystal clear that she and Swizz were still married, still living together, and had just welcomed a child into the world. This wasn't some confusing situation where boundaries were unclear. Mashonda explicitly asked Alicia to step back and allow them to work through their marriage problem. But Alicia's response was telling. She never replied to Mashonda's messages. She never acknowledged the pain she was causing. Instead, she continued pursuing the relationship while knowing full well that she was contributing to the destruction of a family. In her infamous open letter, Mashonda wrote directly to Alicia saying, "In the messages that I sent to her, I made it very clear that contrary to what she might be hearing, I am still married to my husband, living with him, and just had a child. It's been 2 years, and I still have not received a response." What's brutal about Mashonda's account is how she describes watching Alicia flaunt the relationship publicly, while she was still trying to hold her marriage together. Mashonda wrote, "What do I receive? It's constant displays of selfishness and disregard to me and my son."
Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house. And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife.
The affair was initially denied by both Swizz and Alicia until it was finally admitted months later. Even then, Alicia maintained that she didn't get involved until after Swizz and Mashonda were officially separated, despite all evidence pointing to the contrary. But the betrayal went beyond just the affair itself. Sources from that time period suggest that Alicia was actively encouraging Swizz to end his marriage with Mashonda. She allegedly wanted their relationship out in the open and didn't stop pushing until she got what she wanted. The custody battle that followed was nasty, with allegations that Alicia was trying to insert herself into parenting decisions that should have been between Swizz and Mashonda. Some sources claimed Alicia was pushing Swizz to seek full custody of his son, essentially trying to remove Mashonda from the picture entirely. Now fast forward to 2025, and Alicia is potentially experiencing the same exact betrayal from someone she considered a friend. Just like Mashonda reached out to her years ago, Alicia is now the one discovering that someone in her inner circle has allegedly been undermining her marriage. The irony is devastating. Alicia once ignored a woman's pleas to respect her marriage and family. Now, she's potentially the one being disrespected and betrayed. She once refused to respond to Mashonda's messages, asking for basic human decency. Now she's the one demanding answers and confrontations.
About a relationship that's over, and you're kind of remembering all the times that it was there, like you're remembering the way that they felt with their arms around you instead of just the covers being around.
The pattern is repeating itself with eerie precision. Just like Alicia allegedly pressured Swizz to leave Mashonda so they could go public, LaLa was reportedly pressuring Swizz to leave Alicia when she filed for divorce from Carmelo. The same manipulation tactics, the same disregard for existing family structures, the same selfish pursuit of what they wanted regardless of who got hurt.